Let me bang, I man. Do let you bang. Hey, let me bang you, man. I let you bang. I let you bang. Greetings, marriage and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No for Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
Hey, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted podcast. Me, Adam Hunter. We got the dream team. We got Greg Romero Wilson.
Hey.
We also have Sean McCorkle, who told me he's going to get better internet this week. I think somehow, do your parents also live in like a cave? What's going on? It's going to be a great show, though.
No,
I'm excited about it. We're waiting for Don Frye. He doesn't know what year it is. It's going to be awesome. It's gonna be...
By the way, for those of you listening, he texted me. He's like, "Hey, so you guys coming?" And Don's like, "Sure, when?"
Yeah, he goes. He's like, "What show?" So, I had a good weekend. I took my family, went to Santa Barbara, went to the zoo. The zoo was open.
Oh, it's beautiful up there.
Yeah, the zoo was open. We had like a night before, went to the Grove. We had a good went to the beach with the dog. Although my dog like literally is like on his last limb. He's like, shitting everywhere, pooping everywhere. His eyes don't work. He's blind. He's deaf. His heart is costing us like $400 a month to keep him alive. So we take him to the vet, and the vet's like, he's okay. And my wife's like, we should get a second opinion. I'm like, normally, like normally you get a second opinion when someone's okay.
Is that your dog you're talking about, or Don Frye?
Both. Don Frye also. Sean, how was your week? What'd you do?
I did pretty much nothing, but I did win. Did you see I put on Facebook at 23-1 for $2,300 on Ron Gronkowski scoring the first touchdown in the Super Bowl, and almost hit a 60-1 on $50 that Gronkowski to win the MVP, but they robbed him and gave it to Tom Brady. So yeah, I made a couple of thousand gamble on the Super Bowl, but that was about it.
Nice. And then Greg, you?
I was in the same boat, gambling on the Super Bowl. I won $425, and that's what I did watch the UFC main card. I watched the main card, which was pretty damn good. It was a good card.
Yeah, we're gonna talk
but that was it. The rest of it was all football, and betting and filling out lineups and DraftKings. Like enter.
Did you watch the bare knuckle boxing event Friday night? You said you were gonna watch it. Did you watch it, Greg?
I did not.
Did you, Sean?
Yeah, and lost $500 on Paige Van Zandt.
Oh, really? Oh man,
I thought she was gonna win. I really did.
Paige Van Zandt actually, even though she lost, she didn't look terrible. Like, I think if there's ever a sport that you need experience in is bare knuckle boxing, because there's like nothing you can do to prepare you for it, because it just, the other girl was 1-2, but she'd been in the bare knuckle boxing ring 3 times. It was evident in the beginning Paige Van Zandt was trying to actually just box. She thought it was like a boxing match, which is what you would assume it would be like.
Well, that's what the title certainly insinuates.
but bare knuckle boxing, it's a different sport than boxing. That's what Paulie Malignaggi. It's like, it's so much clinching, inside fighting. There's so many other things. It's almost like a hockey fight. Like Don Frye would have been perfect.
Oh.
Where it's like you're allowed to grab with one hand and hit with the other. So there's so many little tricks that you need to know that it's hard to actually know. Because by the 5th round, Paige won the 5th round, almost knocked her out in the 5th round, or hurt her at least. I think if it was a 10-round fight, Paige would have won. But it's just experience, man. This is a sport. Even Hector Lombard, his first fight, didn't look that great. And in the second fight, he just destroyed Kendall Grove, because you have to be in there. It's not like boxing. You think it's just, I'll just box and I'll do bare knuckle boxing, but it's a different sport. It's a different sport.
It's a sport that normally was relegated to parking lots and backyards. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well,
you know what?
We're literally one name fighter away from bum fights. Just so you know.
Well, I mean,
I'm so sure.
Well, what's crazy though is that like the whole sport is actually crazy. Like the whole sport's crazy, but in the bare knuckle boxing thing, after the main event, the girl that beat Paige Van Zandt, some other girl. Did you guys? By the way, hold on. Can you? Is there anything you guys can see on the screen right now? I'm trying to figure out. Ween Dog has a new job, so he's like training. So I'm trying to figure out how to actually share screen, and it's not as easy.
Okay.
As one would think.
Yeah.
But this girl hopped in the ring. This girl that we had on the podcast, Jenny Macho Savage. After the other girl won, she hops in the ring and just like starts talking shit. And the girl that won dumped water on her head. And the announcer didn't say anything about it. As if like we were all supposed to know who that person was and what was going on. It was probably the funniest thing I've seen in a very long time. So hold on, let me see if I can.
Yeah, it had a very kind of wrestler. I did see that on your Twitter. And it had kind of a very WWE vibe to it. like you know.
I thought it had a
Connor
Stephen Bonner, Justin McCauley vibe going on.
Oh, it was awesome. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And people were like, I was laughing to myself at so much of like what happened in bare knuckle boxing. Hey, Bree. So Don Frye's here. Don, how are you, man?
Good, partner. How are you?
Good. I think you actually missed the boat on bare knuckle boxing. You would have been perfect for this because it's so like a hockey fight where you just grab one person's like the back of their neck and just start hitting them with the other one. Man, you would have been you would have been undefeated for life in bare knuckle boxing.
Oh shit! What are the rules? I may get in on it still. Oh.
I say do it.
There really aren't that many rules. It's hilarious. I mean, the whole thing. It's just I mean, you can't elbow. You can't bite. You can't knee or punch. I mean, you can punch obviously. You can't knee. But it's awesome. I'm a big fan of bare knuckle boxing. By the way, a huge fan. So Paige Van Zandt lost though, and I feel kind of bad for the organization because that would have been huge for them. You know, like if they would have had.
Yeah.
But she didn't look bad. I mean, she really didn't look bad. She kind of learned. She kind of, like I said, it's not as easy as one would think. Okay, here we go. So I am sharing. Can you guys see me?
Yep.
We can see your screen.
Oh, okay. That's bad. All right. Sorry. Hold on. All right. Now can you see? All right. I'm going to have Joe edit this shit out. How do I get this back?
It's like you and the screen.
All right. Hold on. Ready and action.
Level with me. There's levels to this.
All right. So, all right. Now can you see it? All right. So, so this is the girl that jumped in the ring.
And it's not getting it.
All right. So this girl won.
She puts a lot of effort into this.
She beat Paige Van Zandt.
And I was not going to let Paige Van Zandt outwork me. You cannot outwork me. Yeah, I'm not the most technical boxer.
Nobody can outwork you. Congratulations. What's going on here? Whoa.
That girl doesn't have a name, and I'm not going to call her out. But you will never be in this level with me.
Yeah, so that's the security they have at bare knuckle boxing. Obviously, they have really great security. You can just walk in the ring and get water thrown at you. Thoughts, Greg, on that?
Like I said, it's very WWE. It's kind of like, like I feel like someone on the side was like, just run up there, just get in there, and just like take the mic from her right now. Like. See, which good, look, we're talking about it, so I guess in that regards it worked, but that's what it felt like to me. It felt kind of staged.
Well, we're going to have the girl on the show Thursday, Jenny Savage.
That was like the early days of UFC, man. A couple people just got in the ring. You didn't know who the hell they were.
They're bringing it back, Don.
Now, Don, do you miss that at all or no?
Yeah, what?
Do you miss those days, the early days of the UFC?
Of course, man. Of course.
Yeah, it does seem like men were men back then, or women were women back then. It was just a different vibe. So the girl who won, this was probably my favorite post-fight speech ever. I'm gonna play her because this girl.
I love Paige Van Zandt. She was an idol to me.
Can you guys see it or no?
She was a pretty girl.
Not right now.
Oh shit. I got to get better at this, man. Fucking Ween Dog. All right, here we go. It's all Ween Dog's fault. All right, now. All right.
There we go. Now we see it.
Are we going to keep ignoring the fact that somebody in the crowd had a shirt that said Team Fart on it? Because that was awesome.
All right, so here we go.
Hey, I'm Team Fart.
Because she was a pretty girl. Like, I'm not a person, though. I'm not. I'm a fucking thing. You guys are gonna feel it. You mean me?
Well, I know.
I love Paige Van Zandt.
All right. Well, that's like when the Molly kicks in right there. That girl is not a person; she's a feeling. Don, are you a feeling as well?
Oh yeah, I'm a bad feeling.
Don's a hard feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Don Jr.? Are you a feeling?
Oh, you know it. I'm a feeling like a shit that's too big for your asshole on the way out.
Ha!
That's my feeling.
Oh God, yeah.
Better than feeling like that on the way in. Jeez.
Oh, shit.
That's true. That is true. So, yeah, I mean that girl. You know, she's probably wild in bed though. I mean, that girl's. Any girl that's like, I'm a feeling, but you know, those are the kind of girls I think that just. Good
You
time.
think so? No, I think the girl that stomped in the ring and stole the mic from her is wild in bed.
You think that one, Jenny Savage? Why? Because that's the kind of girl that. Yeah, she'll
She's
like.
aggressive. She's gonna spit on it. She's gonna, she's gonna call you a pussy. That's what I think. She'd be wilder than the other one, who's like, she's so pretty. She told me that you can be pretty, and I'm a feeling. I don't know.
You're right. She might just close her eyes and just be in her own world and hear music in her head. The feeling.
Right. I mean, it'd be nice. But I mean, you want wild? You're talking wild? It's fucking Stormy Stage. That's who it is.
Don, are you in a tornado right now? What's going on?
Hell yeah, I'm always been a tornado, baby.
Are you riding horseback through town? Are you picking up a new server? What do you?
Why is it always like the Wizard of Oz when you call? Every time you call, it's fucking like you open. Like, what's going on with you? It's like you're in Arizona. There's not even wind anything. It's only wind in your house. Like what's going on?
Yeah, it's a little windy in my house right now, but shit, it's beautiful outside. Heck, it's hard to beat. Crappy. Yeah. I had to get up and wake up, to answer your phone call. So, shit, it's only noon, so I'm still sleeping, having a dream, and then you call and wake me up. Are you gonna come on, man? So, all right. So I had to come outside and wake up first.
Dude, this was literally Don's text to me. I'll read you Don's text. He goes, Hey, you watching? I go, you watching the fights right now? Because we're going to talk about the fights, and I would like Don to watch them. They were free. They were on ESPN Plus. Don, I'll pay for ESPN Plus if you want me to watch the fight. He goes, nah, my back's too fucked up to go anywhere. Right? So I go, damn. Let me know if you need anything. He goes, a hand job and a funny joke. I guess you'll be providing the hand job. You know anyone who could give me the other one? This is what he
It's like braided chop.
Like, this is my text. A hand job or a funny joke. Like, thanks, Don. I appreciate it.
That's so great.
I saw, Don, you were with Severin over the weekend, testing here.
Yeah, we did our first podcast this weekend with former Navy SEAL Ray Cash Bear, and had a real good time.
All right.
It was a real good podcast. So right now they're editing it up, before they start putting it out.
I like it.
Cool.
Also, Chris Lieben won his fight in bare knuckle boxing. He looked amazing.
Oh, that's right. That's what I wanted to see too.
Dude,
he did good though, huh?
It was punch for punch. It was exactly what you'd expect for a Chris Lieben fight. Which you're never going to win that fight against Chris Lieben. He's got the hardest head in the history of heads. Him, And like Mike, another guy,
Mike Perry.
Mike Perry have the two hardest heads in sports history, maybe Frye. So, yeah, of course, Lieben won that fight, but he also retired afterwards. He retired, so good luck to Lieben.
Well, I guess he probably just wanted that one more fight, go out on a win. That's probably what he wanted.
Yeah.
He was like, I just want to win. I want one last. So good for him. But it seemed like it was going to be a natural fit for him.
Yeah. And then Johnny Bedford, I thought he won his fight. He lost to Dan, that win, I think his name is. The guy's actually really good boxer. I thought Bedford won. He was a champ. It was close, though. It wasn't a complete robbery. But yeah, another guy that Johnny Bedford's the kind of guy that, like, there are certain people that are just tough. I feel like bare knuckle boxing is great for people who are tough, that can take a punch. I just want to stay in the pocket and throw punches because he's one of those guys, and so is Lieben. I'm not sure how great it is for your long-term health, but as far as sport goes, fuck yeah. UFC fights. So first of all, before I get to that, there's one fight that I think Don Frye missed out on. One sport, actually. I'm going to play this right now. This, I think, is the sport of the future. Right here.
Oh, yeah.
My
This
man.
is ridiculous.
Don Frye. Here we go. All right, here we go. And boom. Don, what do you think?
Yeah, that'd be me.
Right? If this was the Middle Ages?
It's not just sword fighting, though. There's an MMA component to it. I'll show you. So they're hitting the swords, and then he gets down, but then kind of throws. The guy gets mount. So there's ground and pound, but with
armor, yeah.
Yeah, ground and pound with armor.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's another great sport, I think, for the future right there. I got to get better at this fucking thing right here. All right, here we go.
I don't think the future is what you're thinking of.
The break room.
That's the past of MMA.
Exactly. It's definitely the sport of the ancient past. It's not.
Let's talk about the UFC fights that went on. Overeem fought. It seemed like Overeem just didn't want to be there. He seemed like every time he got hit, he was on the verge of falling down. I don't know if it was one of those things where it was not his day. He showed up. He wasn't feeling right. He knew it was, and maybe he was like, I'll just give him my best shot. But it just did not seem like mentally he was defeated 10 seconds into the fight. McCorkle, your thoughts?
Yeah, he cost me actually a couple grand because I was positive Overeem was going to win because the Russian guy's really not that good. So I was positive. I don't like to criticize fighters or call them quitters, but Overeem wanted out of that fight from the moment it started. The first time he got hit, he covered up and waited to get knocked out and just ran and waited to get knocked out. I don't know, man. I don't get it. I wasn't the best fighter by any means, but I was there to win at least. Like I would try. Even if I was getting my ass kicked, I at least tried to win. I mean, what's the difference between trying to get knocked out and just waiting to get knocked out? You know what I mean? Like, you might as well – you're not going to get hurt anymore if you try to win while you're in there. It was pitiful. It was ridiculous.
Greg?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, this is what we've seen from Alistair Overeem before. Like, every so often, we're like, he needs to stop fighting. And then he goes on a 4-fight win streak, and you're like, I guess I was wrong. I guess he's fucking great at this. And then he shows up and does what he did on Saturday, and you're like, this is what I was saying the last time you did this shit. Yeah. He's that guy, and now, I mean, if you were to just see that fight, you'd be like, this guy needs to quit fighting. But you watch, now he'll then give him somebody, and then he'll go on like another 3-win streak. This is the annoying fucking mind fuck of Alistair Overeem.
Don?
Yeah, you need to find out who Alistair's betting on before the
fight. You might have a point there. I don't know. You're right. It's got to be the most frustrating thing as a coach because.
But he was plus 160, so he should have bet on himself and tried to win then.
Because he shows up sometimes and doesn't show up other times. You're right. It's sort of like he has a kind of a bully mentality where if he's winning, he'll fucking annihilate you. But then if something goes wrong, he can't. I don't know what happened to McCorkle. His internet's definitely not winning.
We still hear him.
No, he's not. I'm sure he'll come back. But yeah,
He'll be back.
That was hard to watch. Now, what was harder to watch was Frankie Edgar.
Ooh.
I'm a Frankie Edgar fan. I'll always be a Frankie Edgar supporter. And I said, and I think it was the last podcast one before, I go, I'm just worried about him getting caught with some fancy, something fancy, something that like I said, a flying knee or a spinning wheel kick, or this guy, you know, Corey Sandhagen, just
he timed him up.
So unpredictable and so fancy and so hard to train for guys like that, because you got to bring in somebody who's going to throw flying knees and wheel kicks at you when you're not expecting it, and that could really hurt you and fuck you up in sparring. So it's hard to train for a guy like that. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, Frankie doesn't get caught with that flying knee. Almost nobody does that flying knee on Frankie, or else you would have seen it before. And, man, it was the perfect flying knee. The guy got incredible height on it, great length, great athleticism. And, man, I felt bad for Frankie because he fell kind of like how Ben Askren fell, just like slow motion, just lights went out, boom.
Oh, I know. Oh, stiffened up immediately, too. Whoa. That was tough to watch.
That was really hard to watch. Don, did you watch that fight or see highlights?
No, I saw the highlight, yeah. And, hell, I didn't know that. Frankie, you just said it, man. Jeez. No, it's, you know, like you said, it's disturbing. Jeez, what it is. I mean, because I'm a Frankie Edgar fan, too, and to see that happen, jeez, it just takes your breath away.
Now, how do you train for a guy like that? How do you train for a guy that's going to just be so unpredictable and throw spinning wheel kicks or flying knees? Like, what's the best way to train for a guy like that?
Watch a Keith Jardine fight.
Watch Keith Jardine fight?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but Jardine didn't throw, like, crazy wheel kicks and stuff.
Jardine comes from everywhere, man. Like I said, like a rabid octopus. You don't know what the hell's going on. You know, it's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. I mean, but do you bring in karate guys for that? Like, do you bring in guys to train with that are basically strikers that just throw crazy shit for that purpose?
Fuck no. I never changed my style. I let people train for me, you know.
Oh, there it is. That's some big dick talk right there. Love it.
That's it, baby.
You know, the question I have is with Corey Sandhagen. Okay, so he wins this fight, 28 seconds. Two thoughts. One is, you know, I can't help on the Frankie Edgar side that's you're just like, well, that was 5 weeks of working out for nothing. Like, all that work for 28 seconds. And then for the other side, for Sandhagen, it's like, okay, do you now think he's a better fighter than you thought before? Or did he time it up and get lucky and we really didn't learn shit about it?
Because his last fight, he won by a spinning wheel kick against, I think it was Marlon Moraes, I believe. So, and he's obviously, his record is like 18-2. He's got some kind of great record. So it definitely wasn't a fluke or a lucky thing. For Frankie Edgar, look, I told you what Freddie Roach was told me, that the guys who knock you out earlier are like doing you a favor, because it's those 5-round beatings that really take years off your life. I don't know if I believe that, because it looked like that was a fucking car accident right there.
Oh, yeah, that was brutal.
Like, would that be better than what happened with, you know, Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos, when the second and third time, where at the end it was just like, it looked like the sloth from the Goonies, or, you know, I mean, guy from Mask, you know. So would you rather get knocked out quick, boom, it's over, but you didn't take really that much damage, or a 5-round beating? What's your opinion on that, Don?
You know what? Freddie Roach is right. You know, taking a 5-round beating, taking a 5-round beating is horrible. That, you know, I mean, fuck, Mark Cole beat me for just 9 minutes, and that was a horrible 9 minutes of my life, you know.
Yeah, your Wi-Fi still doesn't work from that.
What's that?
I said your Wi-Fi still doesn't work from that beating. That's how he fucking knocked your Wi-Fi fucking.
Knocked your Wi-Fi out.
Knocked me back to the Middle Ages. Knocked me back to the Middle Ages and the sword fighting. Shit.
McCorkle, what are your thoughts on that? You think that it's a 5-round worse or like a quick knockout?
I mean, I think probably the quick knockout's better for you. Probably worse for your career. But I thought it was funny that Ben Askren looked like Rocky Dennis from Mask before he fought Masvidal. So it was like weird that he really did. But you thought I was going for any job there, and you were wrong. It was back to Ben Askren. But the quicker knockout obviously is better for your health. But it's sad when you're part of a sport that you're talking about which way is better to get knocked out.
That's a really good point, actually. It's a really, really good point.
That's the job. Come on.
Now, Clay Guida, Michael Johnson, another guy, so frustrating. Michael Johnson did not look like he was in very good shape physically. He was doing okay, but Clay Guida is a guy that you're never going to outwork. Like, you never want to go in the third round with Clay Guida because the guy doesn't get tired. For some reason, he just keeps going and going and going. That fight, I had that fight even going into the third, and then fucking Clay got to take down, and God. There's just so much talent there. So much talent.
And didn't Clay win all 3 rounds on all 3 cards?
Is that what happened?
I think it was the 30-27 on all 3 cards.
I was at the zoo trying to watch the fights. So I was
okay, because I remember watching it and thinking to myself, because I was thinking it would be 29-28 too. I thought, either the first or second he could have lost, but apparently all 3 judges thought he won all 3 rounds. And it's funny because I went into the fight thinking, okay, Clay Guida needs to fucking retire. And I ended the fight thinking, okay, Michael Johnson needs to fucking retire.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sean?
I thought it was a little unfair, man, if I'm being honest, that Clay Guida was using his giant bald spot to reflect the light and blind Michael Johnson the entire fight. So that was unfair for him to do that. But I couldn't help but think, like, as many times as Michael Johnson lost, like when the fight was over, I was thinking, like, beating Michael Johnson so easy, even a midget caveman can do it. Like, that's what I was thinking watching the fight. So I don't know.
It's true. His house was double parked outside the arena.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Can I tell you, that's so funny you said that about the bald spot, because, like, as a fellow guy who used to have long hair and then got a bald spot, that's when you let it go. Because the only thing worse than old guy long hair is old guy bald spot long hair. That's the worst.
Yeah. Now, Pantagio versus Cape or Cape. Everyone was really high on this guy because he was like awesome and rising. I just felt like he was trying to fight that perfect fight. He got to the UFC. He was like, this is my moment. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And because he didn't just relax and let himself go, he ended up losing the fight, a fight that maybe he could have won because he was trying too hard. I know as a comedian, when I'm trying to have the perfect set,
but
it never goes that way. But it's hard. It's hard when you spent your entire career trying to get to the UFC, and then you get there, and then all of a sudden you could just see that in his head he was thinking. But did you ever, Don, try to fight the perfect fight?
Could I what?
You ever try to fight like the perfect fight, and you try to do everything right, but you didn't just let yourself relax in there?
No. I just, I always tried to kill the guy. Shit. Just tell me which one's the referee. I'm gonna kill the other guy.
Right, so manly.
Now, what do you think of the Eminem video? They aired an Eminem video. I'm an Eminem fan. Eminem's an amazing rapper, but I just think with rappers, when they're young and hungry and broke and they have something to prove, the stuff's always amazing. It's always like the best stuff's always like their stuff. And then they get rich and they get famous, and it's hard. I mean, you look at like even like Jay-Z and Eminem and even Kanye or these guys, like, you can't compare like back when Dr. Dre was at NWA or when he lost it when his first, Ice Cube, or these guys when they're Eminem. And now it just seems like when you're rich and you're worth $50 million and you're not pissed off at the man anymore, it just doesn't. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. The rap is one. I can't think of one rapper who's gotten better with age. Can you, Greg?
No, and you're right. I always think the same thing too. It's like the only thing he has to be upset about is that he feels he's not getting enough respect from the rap game. Like that's his major complaint at this point, you know? And it's like, all right. I mean, I think you're 100%. Although I was watching it and I'm like, oh my God, come on, UFC. First comedy, now music.
Oh, thanks a lot.
I think we're losing focus.
I appreciate that. I actually wrote that Frankie Edgar was the luckiest guy in the world he didn't have to hear the song. You know, he was the one that like was actually, but yeah, it's just.
By the way, Eminem, wait a minute, Eminem with that dyed hair, you know, that weird brown hair and that beard now. I thought he looked. Remember the old G.I. Joe action figure? The original one that had the fuzzy hair and the fuzzy beard. He fucking looked like that to me. That's what he looks like now.
No, I'm an Eminem fan. It's just hard. I mean, and the song wasn't that great. It just wasn't like he's had much better songs. Let's be honest. I mean,
and did they just air it because he put Dana in the video? Is that why they aired it? I mean,
I don't know. I'm just not. I love Eminem, but that song and everything was just like. I liked Eminem when he was just angry and pissed off and shitting on other rappers.
Yeah, and taking a bunch of pills and fucking being a jerk off.
Yeah. What about you, Don? What did you think of the Eminem video?
Didn't see it, man. Didn't see it.
Are you a rap fan?
No.
Shocker.
I listen to country western and Johnny Cash and old rock and roll, man. Old stuff.
I like it. That's the good stuff.
Yeah.
So when like you're on a date with a girl and you want to romance her, what kind of stuff do you put on?
Oh, hell. Flight of the Bumblebee, you know.
Classic Flight of the Bumblebee.
So,
the romantic.
So Greg Frye, what's a perfect date for you? Like, what are you doing Valentine's Day?
Oh man, I got a whole thing planned. I'm gonna, set a trap, bit a hole in the road, and then whatever falls in it, I get to keep. That's the rule in Arizona, and everybody knows that. But if it falls into a hole on your property, you get to keep it and fuck it. Wow. I'm looking forward to that. Could it be a pretty woman or just a squirrel? I don't care. If it's a squirrel, it's going to be great because then I have something to eat right afterwards. I always get hungry after fucking.
You're going to fuck.
It's going to be a good time. I look forward to it.
Sounds like a terrible. I got to be honest with you. Not the. Sean, you're actually a very romantic guy. What are you doing on Valentine's Day with your girl?
Well, we were going to Key West, and I wasn't going to tell her, but then I got mad at it the other night, so I told her we weren't going, and I canceled it. So I'm kind of an a-hole. Oh. But, I was going to surprise her with it, but we got in an argument over something ridiculous. But I did want to say about Dr. Dre, you guys were talking about him earlier. A lot of people are impressed, with his body of work or all the, he came from nothing and was in NWA, then went on to a solo career. But I've always been most impressed that during all that, he still found time to finish medical school. Like, that's crazy to me because that's a lot of work and a lot of hours. To actually become a doctor while doing that, always amazing me.
Sure.
You're right. No one gives him credit for that. He really doesn't get enough. Maybe because he didn't do it. I don't know, but he doesn't get enough credit.
He's actually more of a doctor than Joe Biden. Now, so what was I going to say? No, okay, you told me. What's up, people? Don, Greg, Sean, take a break for a second because I got some important information. 2 of the most respected fighters step back into the octagon this weekend to compete for the welterweight title. That's right. And DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the UFC, is giving you a shot at huge cash prizes. For this weekend's fight, DraftKings is offering new players a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. If you haven't tried it yet, Fantasy MMA is very easy to play. Just pick 6 fighters, stay underneath the salary cap, and pile up points for advances, takedowns, and more. There's no better way to put your MMA knowledge to the test than to compete for a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. That's a lot of money. I could use that money, okay? Listen, plus, and don't forget about basketball and hockey, where DraftKings has even more money up for grabs this weekend. DraftKings is a safe, secure, and reliable. You can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. That's huge. Okay. Here's your call to action. Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code ROASTED to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes throughout the week. That's promo code ROASTED to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. Only at DraftKings. There's a minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Check it out, okay? Check it out. All right, guys, come back. We told your girl that you would take her to Key West, then you told her you're not going to go. And now
I hadn't told her. I was going to surprise her, but she made me really mad. And I was like, guess what? We were going to Key West in 2 weeks, but since you're being mean to me, now we're not going. And I canceled everything. And then I immediately regretted it like an hour later, but I was really upset at the time. Some people call that roid rage, Adam, but I'm not positive.
So now what are you going to do? So now we're playing. I actually need to. My wife wants a picnic. I'm still kind of thinking about.
Listen, I love the McCorkle style of punishment because if you think about it, you can just tell them anything that you plan to do and cancel it. Like, oh, you know what? I was gonna take you to the moon, but it's fucking canceled, man.
Looks like we're not getting married after all. Like,
exactly. I'm returning our moon wedding package combo tickets. It's off.
I was gonna make you orgasm, but now I'm not.
Exactly.
Just kidding. I wasn't going to her.
You just take back anything you never told them you were gonna give. It's brilliant. It's fucking genius.
Like, guess what? The puppy mill's over.
So wait, no. So all right, no, because I actually need advice on what to do. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I still haven't decided. Traveling's a real bitch right now, man, but I was going to go ahead and probably bite the bullet and wear the mask and do the whole thing. But women love to travel. Like, but you already live in LA, so you're already somebody. You got to, if you're going to take her somewhere, it's got to be better than LA. So
that ain't hard to do.
Maybe you should move to Texas because I heard that's what all the comedians are doing now since Rogan went there. So.
All right, so Valentine's Day, I'm going to move to Texas. All right, thank you.
Right. Guess what? We live in Texas now.
Greg, what are you going to do for summer?
I'll probably just be silent for an hour. Let me tell you something, Dad. I know that is the greatest gift I can give my wife, but if she pisses me off, don't think for 1 second I'm not going to be like, you know what? I was going to be silent for an hour, but fuck that now. Fuck it now. I'm going to do karaoke in the living room now. So that's from the Sean McCorkle School of Handling Your Business.
My wife went to a website where like they ask you about your partner, and she says that she's like, Adam, if we could do something for 5 hours together, what would it be? I was like, sleep. And that was not the answer she wanted to hear. Trust me.
It never is.
Never. So, all right. So none of us have any plans. We're like the worst.
What are we supposed to do? There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to, I don't know. I'll write a poem. I'll write a lovely poem.
Dude, Bree says to me the other day, she goes, hey, I'm looking into it. We can go on a wellness retreat. It's $8,000 and you go for a week, but you cleanse and you lose weight and you go hiking for 4 hours. I was like, all right, well, you can go. Like,
Bring back a juice. Bring back one of them juices.
I'm like, you know what? I'll pay for you. I'm like, you can go for 2 weeks. You can take my I'm like, go get well.
That sounds like a punishment. That's what that sounds like.
Camping for 2 weeks, or like to starve. I'm like, first of all, you're gonna lose the weight and gain it back the day you come home.
I was running my own wellness camp for a while, but it was different. You'd show up and I'd make you dig wells. And if you hit water, you got to go home.
Fucking $8,000 to go camping, to go hiking, fucking and eat berries. Like, why would you do that? What a fucking scam! I go, is this rehab? She's like, well, it's kind of like it's rehab for your body. I'm like, get out of here. Everyone, it's just, dude, have you been on like TikTok? Everyone now is a fucking life coach. Everybody's a life coach. Everybody's like, if he breaks up with you, here's what you want to do. I'm like, shut up. This is why you're on TikTok. Or anyway, all right. So Beneil Dariush looked great. He just keeps getting better. I can't believe that Dariush and Ferreira was like 17-2. Dariush won 5 in a row. They were ranked 10 and 13. Like, how good is this division? Well, you win 5 in a row. That's some fucking division. Wow.
I thought it could have gone either way. I thought Diego had a real chance there towards the on the cards.
Right. I mean, if Diego would have won, it wouldn't have been a robbery. But I thought that what about you, Sean?
Man, I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you, but I don't know why the UFC is, mainly Dana, I guess, is so reluctant to a 165-pound division, man. I think 170 and 155 are both too loaded, too stacked. There's so many people walking around this earth that size or within cutting weight that those, like the average man's size, not in my family, but the average man's size, leads that to be a real heavy division, as far as real stacked. And I just don't understand why they don't do 165 and thin it out a little bit. Let the smaller 70-pounders go down, the bigger 55ers go up. I don't get it.
By the way, did you guys see Jose Canseco fight over the weekend?
Yeah.
Oh,
right. So Jose Canseco was a 4-1 favorite against an intern from Barstool Sports. I don't know the guy. I guess the guy's a pretty well-known guy. I don't really watch a lot of Barstool, but I mean, props to them. They're doing something right. Now, this Canseco came in 4-1 favorite. Sean, what happened here? Hold on. So this is the first 10 seconds of the fight. Did he even get hit?
No, I think he knew he was getting paid regardless, and so he, if his contract said he got paid no matter what, why take any damage? It isn't like he's going to ruin his good name.
But I mean, Jose Canseco at one point was the man. I mean, he was the bash.
What did he go down from? It's like the guy swung and he just went. What happened there? I don't even know what we just saw.
He said he came in with a shoulder injury. His shoulder was hurt.
Him and Alistair Overeem had the same coach last weekend, I think. Same corner man.
Don Frye, what are your thoughts about that fight?
That wasn't a fight. Jeez Louise.
Thank you.
I mean, does that bother you, though? That people are taking dives like that?
Yeah, the whole thing's, it's a scam. It's a fucking scam, and that's why it took the UFC so long to get out of the cloud it was under, because when you have shit like that, I mean, won't you just get a bunch of grandmas together and have them drive NASCARs?
That's actually not a bad idea.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, that actually sounds amazing.
I like Grandma NASCAR. That sounds like a really good.
Grandmascar. Something like that.
Asian grandmas. Make it even better.
Oh my God! Now it's just a derby. Now it's just a
derby.
Car crash derby. Nobody would stay on the track.
You only have to go 10 laps, because they're driving 2 miles an hour.
All right. So this week, big pay-per-view. I'm excited. Gilbert Burns versus Usman.
This is good.
For the welterweight title. Now, I don't know. Burns is 19-3. Usman 17-1. But they train together. They said they trained for years together, and Burns wanted the fight. That tells me that I think Burns is going to win this fight. If they're training partners and one guy wants to fight, the other guy didn't seem like he wanted the fight. I mean, just common sense says that this fight's going to go to Burns. Burns is a big underdog, though. Pretty big underdog. Who do you think wins this fight? McCorkle.
Man, I sure hope Burns, but Usman will probably win because I think he sold his soul to the devil. If you have better cardio than Colby Covington when you fight him, there's supernatural forces involved or something. I think Usman will win, but God, I hope Burns does. I'll probably bet on him. That's when I really lose money on fights, when I bet with my heart instead of my head. If I really don't like a guy like Usman, to me, man, he avoids everybody. I've never seen anybody so tough that was so afraid to fight anybody. He tries to get out of fighting in general. It's like he doesn't ever want to fight anybody,
Don?
Oh, jeez. I got no idea on this one, buddy. I really don't. I pass.
Greg?
I think Don has to go pee. He's like, oh, man, I got to go pee so bad. Why don't you come to me right now?
I don't ever get off the phone when I do that. I just go outside.
It's in the dirt, so don't make no noise. Well, first of all, for Gilbert to call out Usman, I mean, what else? He's the number one contender. What else is he going to do but call out? He has to. There's nowhere else to go here. And honestly, although I am of the opinion that if anybody is going to beat Usman, it is going to be Gilbert Burns because he knows him so well and might actually be tougher than he is.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see Colby Usman too. That first fight was great.
It was a great fight.
And Colby just ran through Tyron Woodley. I mean, I thought that was going to be a lot more competitive than it was. I was worried about Colby because I'm like, Woodley hit so hard. I thought Woodley would definitely get up for Colby. And that was a beatdown. Holy shit, was that a beatdown. And, no disrespect to, Tyron Woodley. I love Tyron. But, man, that was not how I thought it was going to go. I mean, that one-sided. So I think Colby's getting overlooked in some ways. No one even talking about him anymore. I think maybe he pissed off the wrong people or something happened, but it's weird. Like he's not even in the discussion right now, and he's lost one fight out of his last 10 or last 9. So,
I feel like the UFC could be like that though. Like once you get up there and you get your shot, then you kind of just slide right back down to this kind of middle ground of, okay, no, you had your shot. Now we got to go through these other guys, and then we'll work our way back around to you. And, when you talk about the time between these fights, it begins to feel like a long time.
Yeah, but it was also a very close fight. It wasn't like it was a shot where he got, like, just obliterated. All right.
I didn't think it was that close.
It was tie going to the 5th round.
Okay. Was it?
All right, so Macy Barber got Alexa Grasso. Macy Barber, there were huge hype train behind her. She lost to Roxanne Modafferi. I think she tore her ACL in the first or something happened. She finished the fight, but it was like hype train kind of got derailed. Alexa Grasso, tough fighter from Mexico, good striker. Who do we like in this fight? Don Frye.
I don't know either one of them again. Lost.
Sean?
Same thing. Never seen or heard of either of them, so I don't know.
All right. Greg?
I like the girl in this one.
All right, you guys are the worst. All right, so,
no, here's the thing. I can't believe this is the co-main event.
All right.
I mean, I understand they're trying to promote women fighters, but there are you got to be a pretty decent name fight in the women's game, and the women's game is so crowded that you can't find some name fighters. Macy Barber versus Alexa Grasso. This is the co-main event. Come on, guys.
All right,
it's not the co-main.
The rest of the card is good. Kelvin Gastelum.
Yes, but all I could think about this was how did that wind up the fucking the second? No, not. I mean. The fact that we barely know who they are and two of these legends can't even tell you, that shows you that this should not be the second.
Girl that like became a black belt online or something with the, remember that Gracie?
You're only reinforcing my point.
I did hear that a lot of people said this was the worst co-main event since UFC 124 when Stephen Struve fought Sean McCorkle.
Nobody.
I should dairy that one.
All right, so Ian Heinisch. He's the guy.
Here we go. This is a fight.
Ian Heinisch is the guy we talked about that went to, he was like selling ecstasy, he was state champion, went to jail in the Canary Islands, became the kickbox champ of the jail, went to a different jail, became a wrestling champ. And then he was smuggling, before that he was smuggling cocaine and balloons up his ass, went to Rikers Island, got into a fight with a drug dealer, beat him up, was about to get stabbed. And then his mom sold the house, and now he's out. He's killing it. But in Kelvin Gastelum,
wait a minute. Did we have him on the show recently?
Yes, we had him on the show.
Sounds like he was telling it before.
But remember, he told the story about that's why he believes in prayer, because he went back to his cell and was like, "God, please get me out of here," and they got him out of there.
Sean, you never smuggled cocaine and balloons up your ass?
No, that's what I was going to say. Like he probably didn't even know. You don't have to go to jail to do that. You can just do that like at your house if you want. But I heard it.
True story.
True story. God, get me out of here. I heard he was praying, God, let those get out of there. Because my guess would be if you stick stuff up your ass, you better hope it comes out. So.
I actually told Kelvin Gastelum this whole story because he didn't know who this guy he was fighting. He was fighting this guy, and I ran into him at the Tyson Roy Jones fight. I mean, we was like at the ranch watching it. I go, "Who you fighting?"
1992.
I'm like, "Ian, who you fighting?" And Gastelum's like, "I don't know, some guy named Ian." I go, "Heinisch?" Yeah. I was like, "You know his story?" He's like, "No." I told him the whole story. Kelvin's like, "Wow, that's a cool story." I'm like, "Yeah, the guy you're fighting. Maybe you should know who you're fighting."
Yeah, that seems like a very Kevin Gastelum answer, though. Like, all right, cool story. I look forward to fighting him. Okay. Like, that actually, to me, that fits right in.
So, yeah, so he's fighting Kelvin.
Adam was arrested for smuggling bowling balls up his ass.
Yeah, with your fingers attached to the ball. It was terrible.
They had all the evidence they needed to convict. Instead, they gave him the key to the city.
Even though I like Ian, Kelvin's my guy. I hope he wins. He's also a guy that, like, oh, man. I mean, the guy went crazy 5 rounds against Israel Adesanya and knocked out Bisping, and he's knocked out all these guys. He knocked out Vitor Belfort. And then he gets submitted in, like, 1 minute by Jack Hermanson, I think it was, by heel hook or something. Man, Heinisch is tough, but I think when Kelvin's focused, he's great. Unfortunately, he's focused on donuts half the time, but I hope he wins. I love Kelvin. Who do we think's going to win this fight? Greg?
Heinisch, and I don't think it's going to be close. And I know that and Kevin's been on the show, and he's a great guy, but I think Heinisch is on a tear right now, and I think Kevin's just the next victim in his run.
I think you just want some of that cocaine that was up Ian's ass.
Listen, and also I like his style.
Don?
Yeah.
Forget it.
Oh, you talking to me? So I fell asleep during Greg's prediction.
All right. Jimmy Rivera.
Thanks for that, Don.
Jimmy Rivera is a guy who was like 15-1 from Bellator, came out over here, had some good success up and down, but he's been doing pretty good lately. Fighting Pedro Munoz on a 2-fight losing streak. He was the guy that knocked out Cody No Love. Then he lost his last 2 fights. This should be a good fight. I think Rivera's got it. I do. I think Munoz. I think some of these Brazilian fighters, they're great, but then once they go on these like 2-fight losing streaks, their confidence just goes away. And I think that's when they're kind of ripe. Don, did you ever fight in Brazil?
No, never did. I went down there on tour, or just do a tour for a radio company with Brian Johnston and Gary Goodrich. And Brian, we went to watch a fight at a circus, fucking circus ring. And Brian says, "Shit, I'll fight." So from that stage, with all these wild animals and everything, he's getting dressed, that's not the closest I got. Shit.
Wait, so you went down on a tour. Brian's like, "I'll fight," and then there were wild animals everywhere?
Yeah, we were in a circus. It was in a circus tent.
Right.
Yeah. Traveling circus.
Who did Brian fight?
I have no idea, but Brian destroyed this poor guy. Jeez, I'll kill the guy.
Probably the lion tamer.
I think he fought a rhino.
Circus has fucking MMA fights. People just go to a circus and there's 2 guys fighting in a cage. Like that's a kind of a badass circus, but that's so weird. Like, did he even did he have any time to prepare, or he just fought like within 5 minutes notice?
Yeah, it's just 5 minutes. He says, "Yeah, I'll fight." Because somebody fell out of the tournament, so Brian says, "Yeah, I'll fight."
There you go.
And he just jumped in and fought, huh? Now, did you corner him? Did you corner him at least?
Yeah, I think I did.
Wow.
That's why he won, of course.
Of course.
Don kept yelling to him, telling him to use his Down syndrome strength.
All right. Also, Julian Marquez. who great guy. He's from the Cuban Missile Crisis, they call him. That's his nickname. I knew him when he was in the LFA when he knocked out Matt Hamill in like 8 seconds in one of his fights. So he also has he's a podcast with some like hot porn star, some hot lesbian. I forgot her name. But yeah, he's fighting Maki Pitolo, who's a crazy Hawaiian, but on like a 2-fight losing streak. Who do we like in this fight? Probably Marquez, right? The Missile Crisis. Hello?
Is he the lesbian? Is he a lesbian porn star?
No, he has a podcast with a porn star, with Kendra Lust. Have you ever heard of Kendra Lust?
Yeah, she's not a lesbian. Hell no, she's not a lesbian. She goes both ways.
Oh, she's bisexual. Got it. But
I love that. You go, oh, listen.
Don,
That sounds like first-hand information. That's what that sounds like.
Don, do you watch a lot of porn or no?
No, just until my battery goes dead, you know. my screen burned.
Don apparently watched it all the way up until Kendra Lust turned lesbian. He started watching it then and never saw it.
Yeah, that was after she had sex with some guy named Sean McCorkle. She said, "That's it. I'm going gay."
That'll do it.
She was a lesbian until Don started watching porn, then Don turned her straight. That's how straight he is.
I had heard, man. Did you guys hear the rumor? They were talking about John Jones and Matt Hamill in a rematch because there's only one, blemish on John Jones' record. And they said they offered the fight to Jones, and Jones took it. But rumor has it Matt Hamill wasn't trying to hear it. So that didn't end up working out.
All right. Thank you for the deaf joke. Okay.
All
right.
Get down, Syndrome. Get down, Syndrome. Down, boy.
I had a comedy show. I had a comedy show time, and there were all these.
I caught it.
I had a comedy show where it was like for a deaf school, like 80% deaf, and they had an interpreter behind me. And every time I told a joke, she would sign it. So I ended up saying things like, "I really have a crush on the comedian. I really want to hook up with him. This is not him talking." I kind of made that part of the act. So Bobby Green's taking on Jim Miller. What the hell is Vince Pichel doing? He just beat Jim Miller. Why is he fighting before Vince? Should be a good fight. Bobby Green is like taunt for taunt the best fighter in MMA. The guy just talks shit the whole time. Before the fight, weigh-in, this and that. Jim Miller's a guy. He's been around, though. He's been around. He's hard to finish. He's tough. This should be a good fight. This is definitely like a Bellator main event kind of fight. But I'm into it. I like it. I think Bobby Green's going to win. I don't know why. Sean?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably go Jim Miller, man. But am I crazy or does Jim Miller fight like 10 times a year? Didn't he just – I know you said he just fought Vince, but it's like him and Cowboy Cerrone fight 10 times a year and everybody else fights every 18 months.
Cowboy Cerrone just signed to fight Diego Sanchez.
Oh, my.
And Diego used to train with they hate each other because I guess Cowboy left Jackson. But then Diego did also for that guy. But I don't know, man. I don't think this is good for Diego Sanchez at all. I think Cowboy is going to beat him up.
I was going to say, watch this be one of those fights that Cerrone wins. And you're like, he's back. Like this. What a up and down. Okay.
Yeah, but but if he beats Diego at this point, are we going to think he's back? I mean, why is he?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's to be expected, shit.
I don't know why the UFC sanctioning this fight. I don't think that this fight's going to be competitive. And I don't want to see – Diego Sanchez hasn't won a round in his last 3 fights. If you go 3 fights in a row without winning a round, I think it's maybe time to hang it up.
Yeah, I mean, this smacks of Bellator. This exactly feels like you think Miller versus Green feels – no, that's your Bellator match right there.
And Bellator made an announcement. I guess they're having an 8-man light heavyweight tournament, which looks pretty good, actually. Anthony Johnson and Yoel Romero and Ryan Bader.
Oh wow,
are all going to be in it. So
that's going to be good. They got some good names.
The problem with these tournaments, though, is that they take 19 years to end. I mean, they keep going on. Like you forget about them. They need to have them like all within 2 months or something. But they don't. It's just like.
No, you're right about that, because like you'll see it, and they're like, "Oh, this fight is part of the tournament." I'm like, "Is this current, or is this like? Am I watching a repeat? Is this thing still going on?"
Yeah, no.
It should all be done in 1 month, not 2. Just 1 freaking month is done. You know.
I mean, you guys did it in 1 day.
Yeah.
You guys literally did it in 1
Right.
day.
3 hours. 3 hours.
God damn. And now they're like, yeah, I know. They stretch it out too far. It doesn't build any momentum, you know? You got to have them closer together.
Oh, so I guess they're going to be on Showtime now. Bellator is going to Showtime. That was the big announcement also.
That's huge. Right after Brendan
like,
Schaub's comedy special.
Yeah, I was about to say, in case you had trouble finding them before, now you know exactly where you won't see them.
Yeah, which one does it prove is dying? Does it prove Showtime or Bellator is dying?
Oh, my God.
Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, Bellator's moving to Showtime. That's the big announcement. Okay, so I guess maybe it isn't a tournament. I don't know. I don't know about this. I mean, I guess it's good. Showtime's better than CBS Sports. At least it's, you know, it's better than
Next month it's going to be like Bellator moving to the WB next weekend.
At least it won't be on BET.
Man. Okay, thanks for that one. All right.
I think I heard BET.
That's all I heard too is like, BET.
I heard BET, but I could fill in the rest. All right, so Diego Lima is taking on Bilal Muhammad. That should be a good fight.
This is going to be a good fight.
Muhammad's a freaking awesome fighter. Diego's also a really good fighter. It's a good fight. I like that fight. Also, Polyana Viana is taking on Mallory Martin. Brian Kelleher, who's actually a good rapper as well, taking on Ricky Simone. That guy fought like last week. He's a guy with a mullet. He's a badass fighter. That should be a good fight. Brandon Maverick versus Julian Robertson. Robertson's like a hot redhead. Maverick has won, I think, 4 in a row. Andre Ewell.
Let's be honest, though. Let's be honest. You could substitute that with the co-main event, and no one would know the difference.
Unfortunately, I think you're right. Andre Ewell, who was basically homeless when he got to UFC, won 4-5, taking on Chris Gutierrez. That should be a good fight as well. So yeah, that's the card this week. I'm gonna order it. I think it's a solid card.
Yeah.
But I hear you. The co-main event is a little strange. I mean, if I was choosing the co-main event on this card, I would put the Kelvin Gastelum as the co-main event one.
Absolutely, man. It's not even close. I mean, I don't know. Look at
Don. What was that?
I didn't say anything. You bleeped out.
Oh, I thought. I mean, you're putting in 2 girls that just nobody really knows that well. And again, I'm not against having a female fighter fight as the co-main event. It has to have. I mean, come on, it's got to be noteworthy.
I think they're ranked pretty high at 125, which is a newer division. So I think that
10 and 15, bro. 10 and 15.
Oh, that's what they're ranked.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about them. That's what I just assumed that. All right. Yeah, that's weird. Weird. You're right. Yeah, Greg, when you're right, you're right. So, yeah, it really should be Gastelum and Heinisch as the co-main event.
Without question.
Yeah, you're right. So that's what's going on. Bellator's going to Showtime. Don, do you have Showtime?
Nope. Sure don't. Don't plan on getting it. Just because of this.
You were going to get it.
He actually was going to get it just for the Brendan Schaub comedy special, but then he heard Bellator. He's like, I can't do it.
Don, I really like
Hey.
Don, if anybody should be going to the comedy, McCorkle, you're funny as well. But Don Frye, I feel like you're just a natural, man. You got to be on a sitcom or a movie. I want to make Pinned, obviously, but I want you to be on it as like either like the principal or like the bitter fucking wrestling coach, or one of the parents, or the grandfather who sits in the back and just yells at everybody or makes Nick. He'd be so good at so many parts. There's nobody like him.
Grandfather, why can't I be one of the wrestlers? Hey.
Now that's a show. He decides to go back and finish high school, and he joins the high school wrestling team. Now we got something.
Yeah, some weird law where he's allowed to go.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I can see it. He identifies as a 16-year-old.
I
so
thought
they have to let it go through because the Bidens do law. So he identifies as a 16-year-old boy.
It's actually It's actually middle school. I thought about having an episode where like we just keep losing, so we have Henry Cejudo and we dress him up as a middle school kid, we bring in a ringer. That'd be pretty funny.
Sure, why not? Do it all.
Yes. So I'm not even gonna get into what Don Frye thinks of some of the transgender laws because and like the rule, because that's a whole nother podcast. Anyway, so what do we have?
I love the way you just brought it up, but then decided not to. Like, what?
And then ran from it. Yeah.
Totally. He opened a can of worms and then just ran away and was like, well, that's the show. Wish we had time. See you guys later.
Well, I'll tell you what. Any man who names his dog Syndrome probably doesn't have very politically correct views on the transgendered stuff.
Thank you, John. John, so what are you planning on doing this week?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Or Don? I can't
Sean.
hear you.
You, Sean.
Actually, we had a snowstorm here last night, so I'm probably going to get out on my tractor that I bought since I'm a farmer/puppy mill owner, and probably drive it around and plow snow out of my property and do things like that. I don't know.
Wait, you actually bought a tractor, really?
No, yeah, I bought like a $30,000 Kubota tractor, and it has like everything you could want on it, because apparently I want to be bankrupt again one day, so I just keep buying stuff.
You know how to drive it?
Yeah, it's actually really hard. I flipped it once and almost hurt myself a couple times already. So like I've really I've almost cut my arm off on it. It's ridiculous. Those things are a little dangerous, especially when you don't know how to drive them or how to use them. So
wait, how do you flip a tractor?
They're real unstable. And like if you can put like the bucket down like that you would push dirt with or whatever, and it can lift the whole tractor up. It's that strong. Same with the backhoe, you can lift it up off the ground. So if you're not paying attention, you can hurt yourself really easily. So.
It happens after you drink a half a bottle of whiskey.
Right.
Don, have you ever flipped a tractor before?
No, I've never been that lucky. Yeah, I try. I flipped cows before, though.
Wait, have you ever milked a cow, Don?
Hey, you ever go cow tipping?
No.
Oh yeah.
I'll take you cow tipping sometime, man. I will go cow tipping.
Greg, you really went?
Yeah.
Greg, you went for real?
Oh yeah. I grew up in Texas, so if you were bored on a Saturday night, you'd find a field and someone would go out there and try and push a cow over. I'll say this though, I never saw anyone successfully push it over. I saw them try a few times, but I never saw one go over all the way.
But Don, you actually flipped cows before?
Hell yes. What do you think I did on the Saturday night when I was growing up?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's a big mystery.
You can't get a date. You got to do something.
So what?
I was going to say, Don thinks he's dating. He's talking about dating. He's like, I flipped a lot of girls. That's the way. That way you don't have to see their face. That's the way you do it.
Now I know why Don started to put it together why Don got kicked by a horse more than once.
Yes.
Yeah, but that horse learned its lesson.
So, Sean, have you bought the dogs yet or no?
I've got, I do have the one dog, a male pit bull, and I've got another. The female is coming via flight nanny. Apparently for $600, they'll fly your dog to you. It's someone in a plane. I don't know if they smuggle it or what. I don't know what's going on, but they bring your dog to you. So I got it coming a week from Wednesday, my $10,000 dog. So,
wow.
Flying first class, too. Not really, but
wow.
For $10,000, you would think they would.
Now, is the dog that you bought for $10,000 already, is it nice? Is it friendly?
That's a puppy. I mean, it's just 7 weeks old. So they're little puppies. Yeah, when they grow up, my male pit bull is only like 4 months old. But I really did get them. I'm just going to get one male, maybe two females, just to make some money because they're like purebred, like real named dogs. Like they come from a real famous line. So I really should be able to get 5 to $10,000 per puppy. So when I breed them, I'll probably only breed the female twice ever in my life, as long as Dawn isn't around. But yeah, she'll probably only breed twice. So if I can make, you know, like $30,000 a litter, I'd have to be crazy not to do it on, you know, occasion. So.
Wow. Wow. I don't think I ever met anybody like you guys. Somebody had a bull mastiff?
They're playing.
Okay,
You know?
he's definitely gone to the basement.
Oh man, did I?
Yeah, we lost you, Don.
I'm still here, darling. I'm still here.
There he is.
All right, Greg, what's your week look like?
Oh man, you know, living and loving and living. I'm not doing anything. Although I'll tell you this: next Wednesday, we're doing the Zoom showcase for the workshop that I've been doing, so everybody gets to see all the new material we're working on. So if you guys want to check it out, just go to thecomedyinstitute.com and sign up on the newsletter, and you'll get the link.
And then,
Oh my God, you finally got some new material. Thank God.
Oh, listen, you're wrong, Don. I have no new material.
I think Greg should tour the country. Like, instead of Larry the Cable Guy, it should be Greg Frye. Like, that's why I think he should tour the country.
Exactly. Listen, I probably should. I should just go around as Greg Frye. I'll have a limp. It'll be awesome.
dude, I knew a comic. My buddy Flip Schultz has a character where it's like this crazy character he does, and he opens up for himself.
Yeah. He plays a reporter, like an old 1940s reporter named, what is it? What's the name of the character?
And after every joke, he goes like Thundercats or like Caveman, or like every joke he's like for no reason.
He's got like a hat and like a cigar. He's like, I'll tell you what else you can have. You can have an extra piece of pie. But you know, it's very weird. It's funny as shit though.
It's like
how about the guy that says hamburger after every joke? Have you guys seen that guy?
Yeah, I opened for him at college. Like, 2000.
That's the funniest. Like, I don't even know why it's funny, but that's the funniest shit ever, man.
Dude, that guy he's a good comic though. Basically, like instead of cursing, he says hamburger. Like that was he'd be like, man, blah 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 blah, hamburger. Like it was, I don't know.
That's kind of a smart gag for doing colleges.
Yeah. He
remember Shucky Ducky?
Yeah, of course.
He'd be like, you stub your toe, a Shucky Ducky.
Dude, one time I played a gig in North Carolina, and I think it was a Comedy Zone, and someone's like, hey, we don't get a lot of comics like you. And I was like, oh, thank you. I'm like, that's so nice. He's like, yeah, you're a lot different than everybody. Then I look at their lineup, and it was like the Raging Cajun, Grandma Lee. It was like everybody who was like the Midnight Swinger. I'm like, yeah, it was like professional wrestlers / comedians. They were all like monsters in their own right, but none of them were doing like they all had like a character. You know, it was all that. It was like the Raging Cajun, Chuck, you know, Grandma Lee. So anyway, Don,
they got laughs.
They got laughs. Unlike me, right? Exactly. Don, what do you got coming up?
Oh, Skippy Green. By the way, Skippy Green was the name of the character.
Hilarious guy. Don, what do you have coming up?
Oh, hell, nothing much. I'm playing with my bulldog, and I'm going to take her for a drive in a pickup truck, and we're going to go down to the homeless camp and set it on fire. And,
man.
All right, we're going to take that part out. Don, so what are you doing Valentine's Day with your girlfriend?
I think he already told you.
What do you say?
We're going to go down to the homeless camp and set it on fire.
There you go. Okay.
All right. That's not manly. Setting homeless camps on fire is not. No one.
Yeah, you know, Don.
Don. All right. Well, while you're doing that, get some internet that works. But Don, listen. Nobody wants you to set a homeless camp on fire. That's not good. Okay.
And honestly, Don, the homeless camp has better internet than you do.
I was about to say that. I was about to say, you set on fire. Whose internet service are you going to use? Like, that's who's been using, but I don't know.
So Don, what are you doing on Valentine's Day for real?
Not a damn thing, partner. Not a damn thing.
What about your girlfriend?
Oh, shit. When is Valentine's Day? When is it?
It's this Sunday.
Oh, shit. I guess I'm going to have to go out to eat something, huh? Shit.
All right, well, and they say romance is dead. Well, listen, guys. You can stream my comedy special on UFC Fight Pass, Adam Hunter Throwing Punches. If you're in Vegas, I'm headlining the Laugh Factory at the Tropicana, February 18th to 21st. I'm headlining in Venice this Friday night at an undisclosed location, Venice, California. But thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. Love you guys. Take care.
See you, bud.
Take care, buddy.